लेकिन जो मिड पेड में केक सकता है
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I hope I'm audible. You can just reply on this meeting chat. So open, please, meeting chat, and you can reply on this. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. It's fine. Great. So guys, this is the webinar on AWS Solution Architect, and I'm going to discuss here some important and interesting facts about AWS. Not exactly AWS, I'm talking about cloud computing. Cloud computing is very essential, you can say, is a subject these days. If you know cloud computing, definitely you can just go for the next step. So this is a mandatory field, so you cannot skip it, right? So guys, uh, I'll take a little time to just give some agenda. So today we'll talk about the technical things about AWS cloud computing. This is the main agenda, and then I will demonstrate a few things on that you will understand means what's happening actually, what you can do with on cloud computing, and very easily you can do in cloud computing in AWS, especially for the AWS. And this is my introduction here. So greeting everyone once again, a warm welcome to this session of AWS Cloud Computing, this webinar. My name is Sanjay Sharma and an experienced instructor and expert in the domain of cloud computing. I have more than 20 years of experience in the various fields. I worked as a technical consultant, subject matter expert, and trainer for various technologies. My expertise lies in the corporate training, project management, business operations, content development, and subject matter expert for reputed companies. When it comes to the technical proficiency, I specialized in AWS cloud computing, ethical hacking, cybersecurity, Red Hat, VMware, data center virtualization, networking. So my passion for the teaching has led me to attain numerous IT training certifications and number of trainings. I worked with some reputed companies such as Tata Honeywell, Red Hat, NIT Limited, CDAC, etc. So today I'm just excited to share some facts, the importance of the cloud computing. Right. So we will not waste much time. This is certification. So you will also have a certification. The most important thing is I'm just going to share some certificate scope and career opportunities, because once you have a certification in cloud computing, especially in AWS, so the number of roles, basically the number of career opportunities are open. You can apply for architect, developer, system administrator, DevOps engineer, security engineer, support engineer, network engineer, data architect, and consultant. And the various the salary options are really good, right? The really good, and this is really great. So this is a very tentative idea I'm just giving here, right? So it is not a fixed salary here. So basically it depends on the which country, in which company you're working. Accordingly you'll get the salary. But one thing is very important: without cloud computing, so I don't see any future prospects, right? So this is very important. So you should not need to understand. And first of all, what is the cloud computing? But I need to understand. First of all, I'm not teaching any chapter on this cloud computing here. It's just an introduction for those who are new to the cloud computing. The first of all, cloud computing, what is the cloud computing and how does it basically can be explained? So cloud computing is the on demand delivery of IT resources. If somebody is saying, am I audible to everyone? Shiva is saying I'm not audible
No,
for
you
anyone.
are audible. Audible.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Shiva, please just check at your end. Okay. So what I'm saying, the cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with the pay-as-you-go pricing model. And the internet is the lifeline, or you can say internet is a backbone for cloud computing. Means over the internet, you open cloud computing, and by sitting on your laptop, you can create infrastructure. You just understand. You have not to have a physical data center. No, because AWS has its own global presence on this globe. So AWS has a global infrastructure, such as we have number of regions in multiple locations like Mumbai, Hyderabad, London, Ohio, North Virginia, Tokyo. So this way, we have multiple regions all over the globe. And by sitting on your cloud, on your laptop, you can create virtual machines, you can create network, you can apply firewalls, You can do any DevOps job, right? You can do development. If you have an application, you can deploy application. You just understand. So you have not to go anywhere. So these days people are doing. So this is the most preferred actually the platform the people are using, and this is the most secure. The some people are saying the cloud is not secure. No, this is a really a myth, right? Just understand. So cloud is extremely secure if you know how to configure it. If you know how to configure it, so it is 100% secure. It means you need to understand how to configure it. Okay. So what is the cloud computing? Cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet. Internet is mandatory, right? We will study everything in detail. And who is using cloud computing? Just understand who is using. Is it only for the business or enterprises? No, it is not only for the business and enterprises. It is for the small companies, for the medium-sized companies, for the big-sized companies. Developers can use, IT professionals can use cloud computing, software developers, new startups, government agencies, educational institutions, individual consumers, healthcare providers, bank and financial institutions. Almost everyone can use cloud computing. An advantage of cloud computing using technology services. You just tell me one thing, what you can do the cloud computing. See, so I'll not go much in detail here. I would like to just give little idea, right? See here, we have a platform. So when you log in into AWS, you see the first screen. This screen is known as console home or sometimes AWS management console. Very great, right? And these are the services we have, right? If you see the services, we have the services. These are the list of services. Yeah, these are the list of services. Can you see? More than more than 200 fully featured services. And if you talk about the major and minor services, more than 1,500 services are there. Extremely vast. This is extremely vast. It's almost impossible to learn everything in one go. So you need to choose your vertical. You want what exactly you want to be in AWS. You want to be an architect. You want to be a network engineer. You want to be a security professional. You want to a developer using AWS, or you want to be a consultant. What exactly you want to do? So choose your vertical first. So our journey starts from AWS Solution Architect Associate level of certification. This is the first level of certification. And this is the platform, right? So when you log in into AWS, this is the first page you see. And one more thing very interesting here, right? AWS is providing free AWS account. Means you have not to do anything. You have not to invest even a single paisa. You just use your information like your telephone number, email ID. Yes, definitely debit card or credit card to be attached, but AWS will not charge anything from you. Even if you are paying, let's say if you are even paying some, I mean, if you are using some paid services, but mistakenly, AWS will not charge anything, right? So you means it's absolutely free of cost. This AWS account is absolutely free of cost for 1 year, and you can learn everything here free of cost. Just understand. Only few services are paid. So during the training, I will tell you what is paid and what is free. That is really does matter here. Now, so what I'm saying AWS is providing AWS free tier account. This is the same platform on which professionals are working, right? Secondly, let's say in AWS, you can, you want to create a machine, right? You want to create a machine. So these are the basically my notes here. So I design these notes, I customize, and I share actually with among my students. And this is extremely good platform. I'm just using all these means Miro for the whiteboarding. Let's say here I'm just telling you, for example, you want to create a virtual machine, right? So we have a service in AWS. If you want to create and manage virtual machine, so in AWS, we have a service called EC2, right? EC2 is a service. Good. EC2 is a service, Elastic Compute Cloud. If you have a storage, we have a multiple services like storage. So I'm sorry, this is my spelling mistake here. So you have S3 storages, you have EBS storage, you have EFS storage, you have FSX storage. For the different purpose, we have a different service. So you need to understand in the training when we have to choose S3, simple storage service, EBS, elastic block storage, EFS, elastic file system. So these are the services. These are the services. This is the purpose. You want to create a machine, you need to choose a EC2 service. You want to create a storage or you want to work with the storage, we have a multiple services. You want to create a database server. So we have a service called RDS. We have a service called Dynamo DB, right? And many others. I'm giving little examples so that you should understand. Why I'm telling you, because why I'm telling you, I'm saying for every purpose in AWS, we have uh, services. Let's say you want to just configure a firewall. So we have a different services. For the firewall, we have a security group, right? We have NACL, network access control list. We have WAF, we have shield, right? For the different purposes, we have number of firewall services. So we have the security group, NACL, WAF, shield. These are the services, right? So if you want to apply some firewall, so you should understand what is the purpose of this firewall, right? It's a stateless, it's a stateful, or you want to stop any kind of the foreign attack on your application. And for the to see the purpose of that security, you can choose service here, right? Let's say you want to create a user, right? Let's say you want to create a users, groups, roles, just like in your Active Directory, right? So in AWS, we have a service called IAM, Identity and Access Management. Great. So ultimately, what I'm saying, for every purpose, we have a service. So these are services and these are the purposes, right? These are the purposes. So for every purpose, we have a service. So what I'm saying, almost 1,500 services, my God, are there. We have the services for IoT, we have the services for security, administration, compliance. You go there and I'll just open this page and you will understand. Now, for the compute is a group of service. For EC2 is a service, Lightsail, Lambda, Batch, Elastic Beanstalk. These are the services under the compute group. If you want to create a container like a Docker container, Kubernetes container, you can use the container services. We have a services called Elastic Container Registry, Container Service, Kubernetes Service, right? For the storage, we have a multiple services. For database, we have a services. For migration and transfer. So this platform is very friendly for the migration. In a very easy step, you can migrate your database, storage, virtual machine, right? Very simple. I'll tell you, but you should know how to use it. And then networking, for the networking and content delivery, we have the services. Let's say you want to create a one network, because the network is the first identity that you create to just set up your architecture, right? So you can create your network. For the network, we have a service called the VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. CloudFront, Route 53 is a DNS service. So what I'm saying, I cannot teach you everything in this demonstration, but this is what I'm saying. For every purpose, we have a service, right? Robotics, satellite, quantum technology, analytics. So analyst can use this. This also is coming up. There's a lot of demand in data analytics. So if you are interested, you can make your career in even data analytics as well. And then Internet of Things. So you know that the CCTV cameras, media transformation, and the device management, and the number of things you can do with IoT things, right? And secondly, the business application. We have a multiple business application. Machine learning also is supporting to AWS. Artificial intelligence is supporting to the many services. So these we will learn one by one very comfortably. I need your time. आप लोगों का time चाहिए बस मुझे. So if you are really serious about this, right? Means I do not have any limit. Just understand, because you can understand. I have almost 25 years of experience, and for last 10 years I'm into AWS, and more than 200 corporate trainings I have been delivered. So I need your time only, right? बाकी मैं professional आपको बना दूंगा. That is not an issue. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm just giving a little demonstration, means how actually the things are happening in AWS. चलो, we just create a one virtual machine, right? We create a one virtual machine. एक virtual machine बना के देखते हैं. We are just creating. Now, how to launch actually the virtual machine in AWS? And what is a virtual machine, right? You know that the virtual machine will have operating system. It will have kind of block volume. It will have the security. It will have the configuration, everything, just like a physical machine. But the thing is, it's a virtual, because if you create this virtual machine, so somewhere in data center of AWS, you will create this, right? So this is the first thing. These are the 5 components of virtual machine. So when you create a virtual machine, you always choose an operating system, correct or not? But here, we cannot use pen drive for operating system. We cannot use uh, ISO image of an operating system. So then how we will launch operating system? We will launch operating system with the help of AMI, or you can say image of an operating system. So AMI stand for Amazon Machine Image. So we will have more than 10,000 images available in AWS. We have an image for Linux machines. We have image for Windows machine. We have an image for Mac operating system. We have images for firewalls. We have images for like Fortinet and Cisco. Means for every purpose, we have an image. You just use your image to launch a server or appliance, right? So the first of all, we will choose that AMI. Secondly, we will choose the configuration of the machine, because when you create a machine, you always provide a configuration. भाई कितना RAM होगा, कितना CPU होगा. So you have to select how much RAM is required, how much virtual CPU is required. That you have to decide, right? So you will, and that is known as instance type. So when I say instance here, right, just understand, when I say instance, instance is a basically virtual machine, right? It's a definitely in English, right? So who is there? Will you please write your name? Right? Hello? Please you write your name, please. Jitendra, yeah. Jitendra, it's absolutely in English, right? Okay. So I think you will not have any issue with that. So see the AMI. AMI means Amazon Machine Image. The first of all, you will choose the template of an operating system. Then you will choose configuration of your machine, which is known as instance type. And third, you will choose the volume, block volume, which is similar to your hard disk, right? Which is similar to hard disk, which is similar to hard disk. Okay. And the second is, the fourth one is a security group. The security group means, uh, the security group means it's a basically external firewall to filter incoming as well as outgoing traffic. And the final thing is, you must have basically the credentials to access this machine. And the credentials definitely you are using with the help of the private key, because you are using the cryptography here, right? You are using the cryptography. So you will create a public key and private key. The private key you will download, and if you have the private key, you can take the remote of this machine. So let me just tell you, I'll hardly take 10 minutes, right? See how to create a machine. Just watch me. In detail, I'm not teaching here, I'm just demonstrating. Just understand. Open EC2 service, click on EC2 service, right? Barry is writing, Barry says admin. I have an experience in the SaaS now. I'm learning AWS. Will it consider fresher in industry? No, you cannot be a fresher because you have a very good experience in SaaS. So it will be added with SaaS. Barry, I think you can understand. You are enhancing your skill. You are not going to be a fresher in this industry. Okay. So EC2 dashboard, you will open an EC2 dashboard. Left-hand side in this navigation pan, you see the instances. You click on the instances. This is a demonstration, right? I'm not teaching in a step-by-step here. And just launch instance. When I say instance is a virtual machine, write the name of the virtual machine. I'm writing, this is my Linux web server, right? And here we go. And you can see this is the AMI. So which AMI is being used? You have to choose a template of an operating system. We have multiple templates of an operating system. So, but for the quick start, right, I told you we have more than 10,000 templates. If you want to search any required template, you can go to the browse more AMIs. You will choose any AMI of your choice. But here I'm choosing Amazon Linux AWS. And this is a free of cost. Of course, AWS is not charging anything for this. And in instance type, we have a T2.micro. In T2.micro, guys, just give me 10 minutes. After 10-15 minutes, and definitely I'll answer your questions, but let me complete. So it will allow me to complete this demonstration. So instance type means T2.micro is a free of cost. But if you are using T2.micro, can you see how much resources you are getting? You are getting one virtual CPU and 1 GB RAM. I'm joking. No, I'm not joking. I'm really serious about, because in 1 GB, with 1 GB RAM and one virtual CPU, you can run your server. You can run your server. The people know that these days, even you find the 6 GB RAM in your mobile phones. And here I'm just allocating only 1 GB RAM. So 1 GB RAM with one virtual CPU, definitely you can run your server. All right, great. And this is a free tier eligible. This is a free resource AWS is providing. AWS is not charging anything for this resource. And you can't believe this is sufficient. And a key pair, and definitely the key pair is for cryptography, or to provide the username and password for the machine to take remote. But here we are not providing password. Instead of password, we will choose a cryptographic key. So, and for that, I will create the key. Let's say this is my demo key, and I'll put the name 18th May. Great. Demo key. And I create the key. It'll ask you to download the key. So let me download that key in my download folder. This is done. So I successfully created the key and I downloaded the key in my computer. So I have a key a private key of this machine in my computer. Network setting, definitely I'm not creating any network. I'm using the default network. Definitely. If you launch a machine, you always launch a machine in a specific network. So AWS provides you default network as well. But if you want to create your own network, you have an option to create your own network as well. But it's okay, I'm not using it. And SSH is allowed because this is a Linux machine. And if you want to take a remote of the Linux machine, port number 22 for protocol, SSH must be allowed. Simple. And this is security actually. This is a firewall feature. So ultimately, what you are doing, you are opening a port for this firewall, right? It's a security group. This is an integrated firewall. This is a mandatory component with the virtual machine. So this firewall is important, mandatory, and you need to allow the traffic. The which kind of a traffic you need to allow. And now this is the volume. This is the volume. The volume can go up to 16 TB, and this is the SSD volume. Just understand. This is a high speed solid state drive, right? And by default, 8 GB space is given for this volume. You can just go up to 30 GB free of cost, right? 30 GB is sufficient, more than sufficient if you want to just create a machine or create a server for the testing purpose, for the learning point of view. 30 GB is more than sufficient. So here it allocates 8 GB. I feel that the 8 GB is sufficient for me because I'm using a Linux machine. And finally, right inside at bottom, you have a button, launch instance in orange. Click on launch instance. And a great thing, the machine is launched. Wow, the machine is launched and you can just view all instances. And how much time it will take? So in your physical data center, it takes almost 30 to 40 minutes. But here in virtual environment, in AWS, in cloud computing, it will not take more than 1 minute, right? It will not take more than 1 minute. And you see that this is running. This machine has been initiated. This machine has been provisioned, right? This machine is ready. You simply select this machine and take the remote of this machine. How to take the remote of this machine? Simply you just select the machine, go to connect, and in the instance connect option, you just simply click on connect and see what will happen. Yes, Abhijit, definitely this is a very good idea because if you want to just go into the security domain and you already have an AWS technical knowledge. So please make your career in security. So in AWS security, we have a certification and we are just going to start a new certification as well very soon in security and networking. Right, Abhijit? And see, we have taken, this is what? We took the remote. We took the remote successfully. So this way, you did this task. Now, one more thing I'm telling you, I think you will find it very simple, in a very simple way. How you going to make your machine as a web server? Let's say this machine is not a web server. Let's say this is the public IP address of this machine, right? This is the public IP address of this machine. So if you want to create a machine, how to configure a machine as a web server? My question is how to configure a Linux machine as a how to configure a Linux machine as a web server. Wow. Is it really simple? Yes, it's simple. It's simple. You should know how to just configure it. Do you need a, because this is a Linux machine, do you need a Linux knowledge? Very little knowledge is needed. Only few commands you need to learn about Linux, right? You don't need any certification. You don't need a big, course on the Linux to start working on AWS. No, even if you have a very, let's say, few hours practice, let's say within an hour or two, you can learn Linux. Very simple. right? So how to configure a Linux machine as a web server? So what I'll do, I'll take the remote of this machine, right? This is the remote of this machine. So what I did here, first of all, you go and simply install, means switch as a root user, sudo su hyphen. So you switch as a root user. Root is a basically administrator. So administrator can run any command or any type of command without any limitation. Now yum is a command to install a HTTP package. So HTTP package is really required to run a web service. So yum install HTTPD -y. This is the command. And a few command definitely in the beginning it can make a little difficult for you, but hardly 2 or 3 commands you will run, and you will remember once you do practice on this and press enter. Right. This is what you successfully installed. You successfully installed your HTTPD. And once the package is installed, you will system CTL start. You will start the service. HTTPD service you will start. You started the service. So system CTL start HTTPD service, and that is over. So you have done this, and one more command that you need to run: system CTL enable HTTPD. You will enable the service, and this is fine. The job is over. Now your service is ready. Your server is ready. You want to see whether it is work or not, and for that, what you will do, you will go in a specific directory where www html. So I'll teach you everything in very detail, right? And here you will create a file. Let's say this is my first web server, right? And you can just save in the index.html, and the job is done. Your server is configured. Dear, your server is configured. Your server is configured. You successfully configured the server. Now, but still the port number 80 is not allowed on this machine. So you have to change some firewall settings here to allow port number 80, because as of now only port number 22 is allowed, but the port number 80 is not allowed. So what you will do, you'll go to the security, right? You'll go to the security, you will click on the security group. Security group is a firewall. You will click on this and see in inbound only the port number 22 for SSH is allowed. You need to add it inbound rule and add a rule here and open and just click on HTTP. And a port number 80 has been already selected. Just go and select anywhere and the job is done. Wow. And the job is done. Really? And if you go back to the instance and see, it's public IP address. This is the public IP address. You copy the public IP address here and open in a browser, open a new browser and just paste the IP address and press C. You will see the server is running. Can you see a line here? This is my first web server. So what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is this has been configured. This has been configured. You successfully configured a web server. Right. This is the one thing. And I think this is very simple for you. RN is writing, RN, who provides the public IP address we have to purchase, or AWS is providing? No, AWS is providing, because this is a dynamic public IP address, RN, and the dynamic IP address is provided by AWS free of cost. But if you need a static IP address, if you need a fixed IP address, if you need a non-changeable IP address, in that case, we need EIP, elastic IP address. And elastic IP address definitely is not free of cost. For that, you have to purchase. It's a very nominal charges, but we don't need that, right? We don't need that. I tell you because why don't need that. For example, let's say one more application I'm just demonstrating you. I'm demonstrating a load balancer. You know what is the load balancer? Let me show you the load balancer. Right. Here we go. This is what we have. Right. This is we have. For example, load balancer. The load balancer means, for example, you have very high volume on your application and one server is not sufficient. So you configure a load balancer, and this load balancer will distribute your traffic to multiple servers. And even one server is down, your application will keep running. Your application will be available. So the load balancer is providing high availability as well as the load balancing. So how to configure a load balance? So only demonstration I'm taking. I'm not teaching any topic here. Just give me 2 minutes, and within 2 minutes, I'll show you how you can do that. And sometimes, there is a one more thing. I have a script. Somebody has written a script to configure a server. So if you have a script, you can configure a server without opening the machine. You don't need that machine, right? Let me show you. Simple. So I'll copy this script here. So I'll share that script later on in class. And let's say I'm creating a machine. I'm launching a machine. Let's say this is a server 1, right? AMI is okay. My Linux AMI is okay. Even the instance type is okay. Key is already created, demo key. And in the networking, I'm putting this machine in US East 1A subnet. In one subnet, I'm putting. And in the advanced detail, you can just go little down, you can find a box here, and I'll just paste this one, right? And this script is pasted, and I'll open port number 80. I'll open the port number 80 on this server. You can just simply select the port number 80 from anywhere, and you can see the machine is lost. The machine is not only lost, machine has been configured as a web server. Let me show you how you can do that if you want to check it, right? And in the meantime, we can just put a one more machine. So this is server 1, right? This is server. I'm creating a one more machine, server 2. Yes, load balancer. Load balancer. We have a different type of a load balancer, right? So the load balancing is distribution of network traffic. Not only the network, distributing the HTTP traffic with this. I will configure the load balancing, right? We have a different type of a load balancer. Application load balancer, network load balancer, gateway load balancer, classic load balancer. So you need to understand what kind of a traffic you are. So how many classes been done so far? No. This is a demonstration, Tanveer. This is a demonstration class. We didn't started yet. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So
Thanks.
see, this is a server 02, right? This is server 02, and here this is demo key. I'm choosing a different subnet. Let's say the different subnet is B, right? And in the security group, I need to open a port number 80. This is from 80 from anywhere, right? Because I need to distribute the STD. My server is working on port number 80. And in advanced details, again, I'll put, and I'll make some changes. Instead of a light green background, let's say light pink I'm taking, and I launch it. No, you have not to learn any firewall, right? You don't need any firewall knowledge. I'll explain you during the training, each and everything one by one, right? Abhijit, I don't need the hardcore knowledge for the firewall for you people for this course if in AWS. I'll teach everything one by one. Okay, okay, Jitendra, I think, see, why this lecture should be in English. Let me explain you. Because once the course is completed, ultimately you have to claim a job in the industry, right? And for that, you need to answer each and every question in English. your project will be in English. Your client can be Indian, your client can be foreigner, your client can be English, right? So this is a mandatory. But I can help you if you have any doubt. You can ask in any language. Means you can ask in English or you can ask in Hindi as well. I can answer. Now, so we have the two servers. So I need to check actually these servers output. This is the first server. This is the public IP address of the server. Let me just check whether it is working or not. Wow, it's great. I can see AZ web server demo, right? And which is the second server? This is server 2. This is the public IP address of the server 2, and this is the IP address and C. So this time the background color will be different. The background color is pink this time. So means we are getting, intentionally I made changes here. You are getting the two different output for the two different servers. And now I need to configure a load balancer, how I can distribute my traffic on these instances. And for that, left hand side, if you just go down, we have a load balancing. See, this can be a little hectic in the beginning, right? So create load balancer. We have an application load balancer. I'm choosing an application load balancer. We have a network load balancer, gateway load balancer. So I'm choosing an application load balancer for port number 80. And you can just create a load balancer. You need to write the load balancer. Let's say this is networking application load balancer demo, right? This is name, and my machines are running in these two availability zones. And if you have a security group, it's great. If you don't have any security group, let's say this is ALB. I have a security group for the load balancer, right? And simply you need to create a target group. Means you will register servers will participate in this load balancing. So you will register instances. You need to write the name of the target group. This is NW target, right? Target, and I can just click on next. These are my machines. I'm choosing my target machines. I include as pending below, and you can just create the target. So once the target is created, you will go back, you will refresh it, and you will see this network target group is done. And you can just create the load balancer, and you will see that the load balancer is done. You see this load balancer is provisioning, it is configuring. So AWS will configure the load balancer in behalf of you. And once the load balancer is done, you will choose the DNS of the load balancer. This is the DNS name of the load balancer. Do you see? So this is ultimately URL of the load balancer. So instead of using IP addresses for this application, what you are going to use? You are going to use the endpoint of the load balancer. You are going to use the DNS of the load balancer. But right now it is provisioning, right? So my voice is clear? My voice is clear to everyone, guys? And
Yes,
and
sir.
you
Yes.
can see very great, very
Yeah.
great. Yeah, good. So dear, this is a demonstration. Just try to understand, right? So, but in the training, I will teach you each and everything step by step with the help of diagrams, with the help of examples, with the help of case scenarios, right? So it is still provisioning. If I see the status of the load balancer is provisioning. And once it is provisioned, once it is active, then I'll use the DNS. And I'll share this DNS among you, right? You can also open at your end, and you will see that it will work. And this will take little time, 2 to 3 minutes. But during that time, in the last 5 minutes, what you did? In last 5 minutes, you configured two servers, you configured the load balancer, you configured the target of the load balancer, and ultimately it is provisioning. And this is very speedy job. This kind of a job is not possible in your data center, right? So that's why people love this platform, cloud computing. And AWS is number one. AWS is a number one public cloud platform. What is AWS? AWS is a public cloud platform. And AWS Solution Architect Associate level of certification is a mandatory certification for everyone who is going to make the career in cloud computing. And once you have the certification, you can choose your vertical, like in networking, in security, in databases, in machine learning, in artificial intelligence, in DevOps, in system administration, anything. You can do anything, right? So active. What do you see here? Now the load balancer is active. I want to check it now. I want to check it now. Now, what I'll do, I'll open a new tab in the browser and press enter. I pasted that URL. I pasted the URL of the load balancer and see behind the balancer, the two machines are running. And you can see if you keep refreshing, if you keep refreshing this URL, you can see your requests are being forwarded to both the machines one by one. Do you see? Control C. And I'm pasting this link in the meeting chat. And if you want to try at your end, you can open this link in the browser and keep refreshing it. And you will see that you're getting response from both the servers one by one. So I pasted this URL in your meeting chat. Just copy and paste in the browser and just see, is it working or not? Even for you, it is working. Yeah, it's working. Aryan. Thanks, Aryan.
Yeah, it's working.
Working. And not only this, you can also map this link with the public domain like example.com, abc.com. Let's say if you want to open this website with abc.com, example.com, or your own domain, right? If you have your own public domain, so this URL can also be mapped with that public domain that I will teach in the training. I hope this is excited. It was an excited demonstration, right? So hardly how much time I took? Hardly 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? In 5-10 minutes, you deployed uh, load balancer, and behind the load balancer, two servers are running. And it will be very easy to terminate. Let's say you want to terminate, you want to delete these servers. You select all these servers. Either you can stop them, or you can terminate them. It's up to you. Let's say I want to terminate. I don't need them further, right? And we have a load balancer. I don't need a load balancer. We will make the load balancer because I use this. I will use this later on. Confirm. I know about CCNA and yes, this is Jitendra. I think this is the course for you. If you have a CCNA and a Windows, it means you qualified for the prerequisite, and definitely you can go for this. You should know. You must learn this, right? And for the target, and this is done. You deleted all the resources. You deleted all the machines, terminated. You deleted the load balancer. Everything is perfect, right? So this was my little try. So I just explained what did you see here? How to create a machine, how to make your server web server, and how to configure a load balancer. Right. This was a simple demonstration. I hope how many of you are ready to just start your career with AWS? Just let me know in the meeting chat. Just say something on this. Yes, no. Great. Great, Said. Tanvar. Yes. Navendu. Rawat. Very fine. and we will learn all these things step by step in a very slow mode. I'll take almost 40 hours to cover this, and I'll teach each and everything in a very deep manner. And I think we can start immediately. So tomorrow we can have a class on the same time we'll start it, right? And just go and do some your the prerequisite with the networkings. And if you have any question, please ask me. Sorry.
Actually,
Yeah,
I
there's
just
a
wanted to
weekend course.
know,
Yes.
will we have this recorded? I mean, will it be uploaded in the website?
Definitely. Yes, yes, Tanvir. We will have a recorded recording of these sessions. So anytime if you need, if you want to go through the recording once again, so you will have an access of those recordings,
Okay, sure.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Saturday, Sunday class. This is Saturday, Sunday class.
Are you listening, sir?
Yes. Yes, Mohit.
Sir, actually, last week I have started learning CCNA,
Hmm.
and my course is first of all CCNA, then Linux, then about AWS. Is that okay?
Why you are just combining with the AWS with the CCNA and Linux? I don't understand. Means
Actually,
Linux is an operating system. Just understand the Linux is an operating system,
actually,
and
sir,
CCNA is for
okay.
networking and security.
Actually, sir, I am a totally fresher in this like
Oh.
IT field, and so
Mm-hmm.
networking like provide me this course. First of all, you have to
Yeah.
learn CCNA
Okay.
basic course.
Okay.
Then you start a Linux.
Uh-huh.
Then when you're learning like a CC Linux via
Mm-hmm.
Linux, you can join AWS. So it that like easy to
I
understand.
mean, you want to learn everything step by step in a steady way,
Yes, yes, sir.
right? Not an issue.
And
Yes, Akshay, sir, tomorrow class timing, the same timing, 11 o'clock. Akshay, yeah. Yeah, Mohit, please continue.
so sir, I just saw your like link about today like AWS webinar is going to live. So just wanted
Mm-hmm.
to know about AWS. So totally interesting. Like I just
Mm-hmm.
attend your class. So basically very
Mm-hmm.
easy to understand. So
Mm-hmm.
my question is just I just start learning CCNA. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
like within 6 months we will complete all three course. They told me your team.
Yeah.
So
Mohit, if you want, you can finish your journey little early. So
okay,
learning is a good thing. But
okay,
if you want to be a professional, we are
mm-hmm.
also thinking to for some special classes for the interview preparation. And
Okay, sir.
once instead of a 6 months, if
Mm.
you cover all these topics or all these subjects in 3 months, 4 months, so means you
Mm-hmm.
can save little time, right?
Okay, sir.
It's up
So
to you.
to
It's up to you. Means if you feel that the 6 months are sufficient, then it's okay. But if you say no, I can do little hard work and I
okay,
need a little time, means I can invest more time on this. So definitely, it's your call.
okay, sir. So basically, sir, AWS course like how many duration like the month?
40 hours are the day, and two to
Okay,
three hours, 2 to 3 hours Saturday and 2 to 3 hours Sunday, right?
okay. So sir,
Yeah.
is it enough like in just 40 hours we can learn about totally like AWS?
Yeah. Dear, I'm teaching the in 40 hours, I'll teach at least 30 services, 30 to 40 services. And once
Okay.
you have a very means the practice on those services, you can claim job in industry,
All right, all right.
right?
So
Huh?
okay. So actually, I'm
It's up to
already
you. Uh,
I'm doing job, but not like field
hmm,
in IT. I'm living in
hmm,
Japan, so in Japan there
hmm,
are a lot of like
hmm.
scope in IT.
Yeah,
So
you were in Japan. Huh?
yes, yes.
Right now you are in India?
No, I'm living in Tokyo, but I'm
Hmm.
basically from Delhi.
Okay. You are from Delhi.
Yes, I'm like
Yeah, great.
I'm I'm sir, working in a Japanese field as an
Hmm.
interpretation, like as a translator or
Hmm.
doing like trading company. but I want to
Okay,
move
no
in
issue.
IT sector. So that's why
Right.
last week I inquiry networking and they provide me because I'm a fresher. They provide me first you have to learn
Mohit,
CCNA.
Mohit, in short, I can say you have taken a very good decision to take admission in networking because this is the core idea. So first
Okay,
of all,
sir.
you should have some basics clear. Then only you
Yes, sir.
can win means some professional vertical. So even
Okay, sir.
AWS also is a very it could be a very good if you want to start, right?
Okay, sir.
So
Okay, sir.
whatever I explained, whatever I taught here, so you please just let me know, was that
Okay.
concept clear?
यस सर यस और जब सर मेरे लिए एक AWS बहुत नया है लेकिन आपने जिस हिसाब से समझाया मुझे मुझे बहुत इंटरेस्ट और बढ़ गया लाइक इसकी हाँ ये अच्छा है
चलो चलो
सीरियसली
ठीक है
आया
देखते हैं ओके ओके नॉट एन इश्यू नॉट
रियली
एन इश्यू
ऑनेस्टली सर
so okay so
Hello.
guys we will meet tomorrow same time 11 o'clock so
Sir,
have a nice day
can
tomorrow we'll meet again
I have
yeah
one
tell me
question, sir. Hello,
My
sir.
name is Chetan.
yeah Manoj or
Yes,
who's asking question
yes, sir.
Chetan.
Manoj here.
yeah
Sir, I'm also there.
hmm.
Hi, sir. Actually, I have enrolled for AWS Cloud Security Master Program. So,
Okay.
after completing the first module, in
Hmm.
another two modules, which services you are going to cover?
Uh, Sorry, I didn't get your question completely. So, will you please elaborate your question?
Yes. Basically, I have enrolled for AWS Cloud Security Master Program.
Okay,
So basically, in this, you are going to conduct a whole course in three different modules, right?
right.
So in
Definitely.
a network specialist and in security, which topics you are going to cover? Can you elaborate
See.
on that?
No. See, for that, you should have a brochure of our
Okay.
course from Networkings because we have a brochure for AWS Solution Architect Associate level. This is a separate course. For
Okay.
for networking, we have a separate course, and for security specialist, we have a separate course. So, if you need a details on this, I will recommend that you should have actually the brochure, so you can see everything on the brochure. And if you are not clear with those topics, then I will elaborate. I think this
Okay.
is a good idea.
But all the three modules covered by you only, right?
Yeah. I can teach everything because, but in networkings, we have a different multiple trainers as well, right? So
Uh,
if you want the classes from me, that's fine. I can teach you.
Hello. Because actually at that time of taking admission, they told me that all three modules are covered by Sanjay sir only.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I can teach everything. I can teach security. I can teach networking. I can teach DevOps as well. I can teach architect as well. So that's what I'm saying. So last 10 years, I'm into AWS, and total IT experience is more than 25 years experience. So no worry about this. So your presence is most important for me. You should
Okay.
be you should actually take classes on a regular basis. Then only it will be valuable for you, right?
Right.
Okay,
Hello.
yeah. So guys,
Sanjay sir.
Actually, I have one last
yeah.
question.
Yes, Chaitanya.
My name is Chaitanya here. So actually, I want to know that one thing here. So may I know outside the jobs are available for this field, and also what was the network engineer role in uh,
See,
domain?
see, see. Uh, if you are a network professional.
Sir, I am currently working as a technical support engineer. I have completed 2 years.
Okay,
So like
very nice.
wipe industry.
Okay, see, so your prior experience will be counted as an experience. Your prior job experience will be added in an experience in your resume. Definitely, you are an experienced guy. Let's say you have a 2-year experience, 5-year experience. That doesn't matter. Secondly, whatever you have done, for example, you have done as a support engineer. So means you have a very clear idea in the industry, means what is the purpose of the support, what is the job role of the support engineer. Okay.
Okay.
So once you complete your AWS, so you are adding a skill to get a job in the same vertical. And multiple jobs are there. If you open job portals, let's say Naukri.com, jobs.com, monster.com, you will find thousands of jobs are available. But the problem is how you will claim those jobs. In order to claim those jobs, you should have a proper subject knowledge. And for the proper subject knowledge, I need your time in the training. And if you, because during the training, I'm providing the lot of assignments, lot of projects, I'm providing the lot of scenarios. If you are completing those things, it means everything you can achieve that level, including uh, uh, as an experienced professional.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello,
Anil,
Sanjay sir.
Anildar, yeah,
I just
please.
see
Hello.
the outside market is right now. Some people are talking very dull. That's it. They're
Oh,
saying like
Chaitanya,
dull.
we can do one thing because we have very limited time for today because I have another session. So, by the way, we can talk tomorrow on this. So we will spare some time. But definitely, your answers are questions are valid, and the answer is only this: you need a proper guidance, you need a proper knowledge, and if you have a good knowledge, you can claim good job in industries. A lot of jobs are there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
So shall I close the session for the day? So tomorrow same time we'll meet again.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Have a
yeah.
nice day. Have a nice day,
Thank
guys.
you. Yeah, bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.